Hello folks, I'm Ruben Bressler. I'm here in the sideboard with Christian Calcano, and I want you to guess what he's playing. Take a guess. If you guessed blue-red control, you'd be right. So this is slightly different than something that we've seen you play before, obviously. Tell us a little bit about what you've got here.
Yeah, like last time I won the Grand Prix with a blue-red Delver deck, and pretty much that deck sideboarded into a control deck, which is similar to what I have now. So like, playing that kind of gave me more ideas, and I figured maybe it'd be better if I just played a control deck instead the whole way. So this is what I came up with.
Right. Now you mentioned that you weren't playing Augur of Bolas yesterday. Now first of all, you 3-0-1 to the standard portion of the Invitational. So you're only playing in the Open today because of the other format.
1-2-1 in Legacy.
Yeah,
so
well,
good.
But you're 3-0 in the Open. You're 3-0-1 in Standard yesterday. This deck's doing pretty well for you, but you weren't playing Augur yesterday. You want to talk a little bit about him?
No, yeah, yesterday, pretty much I went to sleep last night, and my friend was just saying how, like, wow, your deck's really good. You have so many spells. Are you playing Augur of Bolas? And I was just like, kind of like, it's like, the light bulb opens up. I'm like, oh, yeah, why aren't I playing that card? And pretty much I decided to take out a Whip Flare, a Mana Leak, and a Thought Scour, and just added 3 of those guys, and he's been awesome so far today.
Yeah, you're playing 20? Is that right? 20 instants and sorceries? 18?
18.
Well, you're running a lot, and a lot of it's card draw,
Yeah.
and including 4 Ponders and 4 Desperate Ravings. Now, Desperate Ravings is a card that I love, but it hasn't been seeing a lot of love in Standard or any of the formats. Talk to me a little bit about that card.
That card's awesome. It just helps you, find the cards you need to win. You can have your hand just full of lands or whatnot. So it's good. I played something similar to this also in Block, which is another reason why I thought it was good. So yeah.
And you've got another card draw spell in the Lighthouse, or the Loot House, or Value Town, or whatever you want to call it.
It's definitely Value Town.
It's definitely Value Town. And you were talking to me before we started filming about how that's part of the reason why you run singletons, is because you're drawing so much, you're pondering, and you're using Desolate Lighthouse
Ponders, Ravings,
to be able to dig into whatever you need. If you happen to need the one Dismember, then you've got it.
Yeah.
So
and with Snapcaster, I can even as long as I find this, even if it gets discarded, I can still play it.
Now let's go up to your end game here. Your big heavy hitters are singleton creatures. Inferno Titan, Frost Titan, Consecrated Sphinx. People know about. But they might not know about so much as Lone Revenant. What happened to you upon that card?
Again, I played it in Block, and it was it's pretty much every time I hit with that card, I just never lost ever. And it's really hard to deal with. It's a 4/4. It gets past Restoration Angel, which is huge. Delver has no way of pulling that card, so that's pretty much why I ended up playing that guy.
Nice. And now, if you folks at home thought he liked Singleton's main deck, we've got 9 Singletons and 3 2-ofs in the sideboard. I'm going to not go over every individual choice, but I'm going to go over a couple things here. Mind Control is a thing that I've been seeing a little bit of to deal with Thragtusk. Is that what it's in there for?
Honestly, it's in for ramp, because my ramp match is really bad because they have caverns, so I can't counter anything. And pretty much my theory is just if they slam a Titan on turn 4 or 5, Primeval Titan, because if it's blue ramp and they're playing Frost Titan, then I'm kind of screwed. But if it's a green Titan, I can just steal it with Mind Control, and then I guess the game swings in my favor. Sure. So that's pretty much what Mind Control is there for. And
Karn comes in against those sort of slower, grindier matchups as well, as sort of a trump card.
Yeah. Against, I have 3 Planeswalkers in my sideboard. I have a Koth, a Jace, and a Karn. Those are all for the control matchups.
Yeah, I was looking at the Koth, and that's a pretty interesting one. Although, then when I looked at your mana, you have a lot of basic lands in your deck.
Yeah, I have it's 10 islands and 8 mountains. And
3 Evolving Wilds, And so that's I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I looked at it and I was like, that's an interesting choice. But it clearly makes sense. Does that also come in against anything else other than just straight ramp or control?
Yeah, mostly the control decks, because it's not really good against the decks with a lot of creatures. Because then he's very bad at defending himself, obviously. So he's not gonna really live against creature decks.
Now I got one last question I have to ask you, which is I noticed the number of Sulphur Falls you're playing.
Yeah.
Is 4.
Yep.
You were able to get a 4th for this weekend. That's pretty lucky.
I managed to find someone to ship. So
nice. Well, this deck looks great, and it doesn't lose a ton. I mean, the big top end guys are replaceable.
No, yeah, like I said, like when I played this deck in block, and I thought it was the best deck I've played in the whole format. So
yeah,
like I was 10-1 in Anaheim with it in the block Grand Prix, and then had some unfortunate luck at the end, but I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, all you're really losing is a couple of Titans, the Ponders, of course, but everybody's losing Ponders.
Yeah.
The rest of the deck is really staying intact.
No, yeah, because I mean, like the best win condition for the deck is like Tameo.
Right.
It's pretty much as long as you can just defend her, and like you have all these wraps, like you have bonfires and post rotation. You know, you have Rolling Templar. Like otherwise. Like I whip flare now, but otherwise it'd be that instead. And
this deck also gets a lot from Mizium Mortars and things like that. If you really wanted to throw that kind of stuff in there,
that's a return.
That's no, Mizium Mortars is the Flame Slash with Overload.
Oh, okay, yeah. From return,
So like you've got a Flame Slash that's also a split card.
Yeah.
That's also a wrath. So
absolutely.
I mean, this deck gets a lot in the fall because Izzet is one of the.
I guess Steam Vents too. So the
mana Steam Vents too. Oh man,
the mana is not worse.
So much better.
Yeah, the mana is way better after that.
Yeah,
dual lands. Yeah.
If you're looking for a deck to play after rotation, pay attention to this one. But if you're also looking for a deck to play for the next like week and a half, is it?
Yep.
Then try this one out. Christian, thank you for joining me in the sideboard.
No problem. Thank you.